This will be a video on how to perform the progressions of the bridge exercise. This exercise helps to strengthen the muscles of the core, which include the muscles that help straighten your lower back, your abdominal muscles, your gluteal muscles, as well as your hamstring muscles. For this exercise, you will need a surface to lay on, such as a comforter or a yoga mat. You will also need a tied shoelace for one of the progressions. Position yourself laying on your back with your knees bent like this. It's important that throughout this exercise, you're making sure that your lower back is stable and that you're moving nice and smoothly. To perform this exercise, first, begin by exhaling, helping to tighten your abdominal muscles. Once your abdominal muscles are tight, you should breathe normally and make sure that they remain tight throughout the exercise. Next, you should squeeze your gluteal muscles as if you need to go to the restroom and that you're trying to prevent it from coming out. Also, you can pretend as if you have a card between your gluteal muscles and that you're trying to prevent it from slipping out. Next, you should drive through your heels to help lift your hips up off of the ground. Once your hips are even with your body, you should hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds. Now, you should slowly lower your hips back down to the ground. During this exercise, you should primarily feel it in your gluteal muscles. This was 1 repetition of this exercise. You should perform 10 repetitions 2 to 3 times. Once you are able to effectively perform the normal gluteal bridges, now you can go ahead and do the exercise, but this time you should move your feet slightly further away from you. Now, using the same technique as described before, you should perform this exercise. First, exhale to tighten your abdominal muscles, squeeze your gluteal muscles, and then drive through your heels. Again, you should hold in this position for 5 to 10 seconds. And then slowly lower your body back down. Again, it's important to perform this in a smooth and efficient manner. This was 1 repetition. You should perform 10 repetitions 2 to 3 times. Once you are able to effectively perform the first progression of this exercise, now you can perform the second progression. For this, you will need a shoelace which you will tie a knot on one end for. The loop that you form should be about a medium size, big enough to fit your thighs within it. Now, you should go ahead and wrap the shoelace around your thighs like this. Go ahead and lay down on your back with your knees bent like this. To perform this progression, first, exhale to tighten your abdominal muscles. Next, you should go ahead and squeeze out against the shoelace. Now, squeeze your gluteal muscles as if you need to use the restroom. And now, driving through your heels, you should lift your hips up off of the ground. You should hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds. You should make sure that your gluteal muscles are contracting and that you're also pushing out against the shoelace on both sides. Now, slowly lower your hips back down to the ground. This was 1 repetition of this exercise. You should perform 10 repetitions 2 to 3 times. Also, it's important to make sure that you're wearing long pants or leggings while performing this progression, so that way the shoelace does not irritate your skin. When you are able to effectively perform the second progression of this exercise, you can perform the third and final progression. To do this, lay down on your back in the normal position. Next, you should go ahead and bridge up while using the exact same technique of exhaling to tighten your abdominal muscles, squeezing your gluteal muscles, and then driving up through your heels. Once you are in this position, you should straighten out one of your legs and make sure to hold that out there for 5 to 10 seconds. It's important when doing this that your pelvis does not drop on that side. It should look like this. Once you hold it out for 5 to 10 seconds, then you can go ahead and bring it back down and then lower down your hips and relax. This is one repetition. You should alternate the leg that you are using for each repetition. In total, you should perform 10 repetitions of this exercise 2 to 3 times. It's important that if you experience increased lower back pain with any of these progressions that you stop the exercise immediately. Thank you for watching this video on how to perform the different progressions of the bridge exercise.